The topics we discuss are many.
No story too bold to talk about.
Strictly our own opinions.
But they are opinions from people like you.
Welcome to the Nake'd Podcast.
Apparently, left-handed people are minions of the devil. Hey, it's Keelan.
Hey, you might be cool, but do you still have the Blockbuster app? Hey, it's Ethan.
Not only do I not have the Blockbuster app, I also don't have an Xbox Series X. What the fuck, Microsoft? It's your DM Tekka Allen.
MySpace me and current me are two completely different people. It's Norma, guys.
So, what's up with Microsoft and Blockbuster?
Okay, so right now that the Xbox Series X is sold out and the PlayStation 5 is also sold out, there's been a heavy... Yeah, they both been sold out since, like, release date. If you're not surprised by that, you're, like, a couple weeks behind. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't even know they had released yet. I thought they weren't released until, like, late November
I'm sorry.
something.
I'm sorry. Pre-order release.
Pre-order.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I misspoke. The pre-order has released. The consoles haven't been released yet. And there's a great need for... other people to rate them and give them reviews and find out exactly how they rank up against each other. A whole bunch of streamers, content creators on YouTube, IGN, and anyone else I can think of in between here and like really famous content creators have already gotten their hands on the Series X and the Series S, and they've been rating them and creating videos so that once the ultimate date to release those videos is good to go by Microsoft standards, then it's good to go. Like they're everywhere. As a matter of fact, the guy who does Unbox Therapy, he's been slowly releasing content based off of the hardware. Just last week, he showed everyone the packaging for the controller, a brand new controller, and the additional hard drives that you can buy with it.
That's cool.
Like, it's crazy that they're sold out, but Microsoft had some saved just to send out for reviewers. It's a smart move.
Microsoft is really playing the launch right. I think Sony kind of botched their launch, and
absolutely,
it crashed everywhere. They didn't have enough pre-orders. It was just like a mess.
I mean, Sony's not the only people that have had a bad launch. Microsoft's had a bad launch too, but they've had the foresight to understand that the success of their console is also dependent on how many videos are made of their console. I mean, how many of us watch YouTube videos on a regular? I know that Ethan watches multiple. I watch at least 2 or 3 a day.
Yeah, I probably partake. Oh, I have a list and I watch everybody's videos. and I like the list has dwindled a little bit because people have changed and done other things on YouTube. So I'm a little lacking in content lately.
I think too, you've been watching more streamers, like more streamers in action and seeing what they're up to.
Definitely. I went through Twitter the other day and I found like 3 more streamers just to kind of check out. One of them was pretty cool. His name was like Canadian Neighbor. And I finally went to like watch his stream, and he was doing a bus drive simulation. It was different.
Yeah, you see like some things when people do like the bus driver simulation or like the train simulators. It's just like, why? What joy do you get out of pretending to be a bus driver?
Hey, there's a market for that. I mean, look at Farming Simulator. They've released their 21st version of the game already. And then there's Euro Truck Simulator 16, and there's also Euro Truck Simulator 2020. Like, there's a market for these kind of games. As a matter of fact, on Mixer, I remember that there was even a small community of people who only played simulation games.
I feel like it could be like a very calming and soothing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of these games that everybody's playing, it's shoot 'em up, it's kill, it's explode, it's violence.
Die.
Yeah, some myself included, don't always love to do violent things. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I just want a game without any violence. What kind of game do you get from that?
Yeah, like things like Animal Crossing and Minecraft.
Yeah, No Man's Sky has a little bit about that, but you still shoot robots, but.
And if it's something mundane and predictable, maybe that's how somebody winds down at the end of the day.
Yeah, makes sense.
Different strokes.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I love Minecraft. Like, I don't care who the fuck you are, whether you're 7 years old like our son, or if you're my age, about to turn 30, maybe 40, maybe even older than me. Minecraft is a great fundamental game. It's nice, calming. There's a little bit of PvP, and that's it. Like that's fucking perfect.
I say you
some
still
people.
have the creepers.
Yeah, fuck the creepers. The minute you hear it, get the fuck out. Run.
I like games with a rich storyline, like something that takes you on a journey. You have a quest to do something else, and you just have a purpose. You know, like you're a hero. I love it. I love it. I mean, I do like.
Hell yeah.
I do like those other games where are kind of chill. Like there's a game on the Xbox called Death Squared or Death Cubed. What is it?
Death
Death
Cube.
Cube, and you have to work together with your partner as these little cubes to get to these, like, I don't know, action spots to complete the level. It's like a science experiment. So like there's really no purpose to it other than like a puzzle or like a strategy, but it's pretty cool. I like games like that, either like a puzzle, a quest, something to figure out, like something that engages my mind.
That's kind of why I fell so in love with Star Wars: The Fallen Order. I've been enjoying it so much. Like it's a perfect amount of fight these people and then solve this puzzle using the Force, what have you. But you know what I'm most excited about?
What?
And it hasn't been confirmed yet, but recently. Okay, so we all know that it's about to be like Zelda's 35th anniversary, right? Like the Legend of Zelda franchise.
Hey.
Earlier this year, Nintendo submitted a new trademark for Ocarina of Time, but for the Switch console. It's a brand new trademark, so it's not a renewal of the old one that they submitted back in 1998 or the 3DS version of it, where they remapped everything.
How have you kept this from me?
I'm sorry. I kept it for the episode. Hate me all you want. Content.
So, does that mean they can, like, change it up because it's not technically the same trademark? So, would it potentially be a different game?
I don't think that it'll be a different game, but it's a rumor. It hasn't been confirmed by Nintendo yet. And Nintendo has done this in the past where they'll re-patent or submit a new patent or a new trademark for technology that they already own. Look at the Nintendo 64. They submitted a trademark to the U.S. government for a smaller, modified Nintendo 64. And they've done that in the past, and they haven't done anything with it. Like, they're submitting trademarks to protect their technologies. And I get that from a company standpoint and from a game development standpoint, but come on, Nintendo, give us all the N64 games on the Switch. Don't give us some bullshit like Super Mario All-Stars.
How they did Final Fantasy VII and transferred over remade Final Fantasy VII. I don't know if I would want them to do Ocarina of Time. Like, I want them just to port it over. I don't want them to remake the game.
I do.
Well, they'll have to,
like how they did.
They'll have to provide updates to the graphics and to some of the assets, like what they did when they ported Ocarina of Time to the 3DS. But what
I want the graphics. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I want the graphics that one home dude did that he built himself.
Yes.
Oh, the Unreal 4 engine? Yes, that's what I want. I want the same game run through the Unreal 4 engine. I don't want them to remake the entire game, new controls, new story, everything. I don't like it.
No.
Well, they won't remake the story. They'll just have to rebuild
that's what
the
they
engine.
said about Final Fantasy VII, and then they remade this they changed little aspects of the story that changed it overall.
Well, Nintendo did that with Super Mario 64 when they released it a part of the Super Mario All-Stars game. They even left some developer points on for Super Mario Sunshine in that game. That's fucking sloppy. I don't want that kind of sloppiness from Nintendo.
Yeah, I think that's what Ethan's saying.
I just want them
So
to make the
don't ruin
handheld
it.
console that's the controller.
What?
What?
I want them to give me the handheld console that's the controller. You slot in the 64
Oh,
No,
yeah.
with the
I know what you're talking
64
about.
controller.
Yeah.
That's
That'd be
what I
dope.
want.
That would be really cool.
So like it's a controller that you could slide a game in just like that, and it has a little screen. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That'd be pretty
But
cool.
StarCraft 64.
Hey.
Did you get on eBay recently, or?
I did, but no, I've had that one forever. Yeah, but no, I ordered Mario Party 1, 2, and 3 off eBay.
Nice.
And I'm like, so sure they're fakes, but 2 of them worked. I gotta send back the first one and get them to exchange it.
I know that the ones we got are fake, but they're really good remakes. Like, they're using original Nintendo technology.
Yeah.
It blows my mind how people do this.
And they're all from
Right.
China, so, I mean...
Makes sense.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Everything's from China.
engineering and stuff. Like, it really got me thinking. Watching Away, you guys watched it. We finished it today.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
Cried so much.
it is so good. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it. It's on Netflix. Hilary Swank is in it. But
Yeah, check it out.
I mean, just the amount of like smarts and cleverness to do something that can impact our lives.
So
it's just crazy.
The first question is, Hilary Swank, would you do her?
Hell yeah! After that movie, she's a total badass.
Hell yeah. Dude, she did such an amazing job in this role. And I want to
She
know
really
how they
has.
did their waitlist scenes. Because that was
Yeah, that's-
phenomenal.
That's been the one thing that I'm super curious about, how they filmed the waitlist. And because even if the water is through like computer graphic, it
looks
is very
real.
good.
So
Yeah.
good.
Even,
So
like, the
good.
tears in the earlier season, they look like...
They would
Like, they
pull
were in
their
space. It was
eyes.
amazing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy.
So when y'all saw, before we get too deep into the spoiler territory,
You're right.
did y'all, at the ending, did y'all want them to make it to Mars, or did you want them to not make it to
I
Mars?
wanted them to make it.
I absolutely wanted them to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted them to make it.
I was like, I so want them to make it, but at the same time, if they just like burned up entering the atmosphere in the show, you know, Sopranos style, I was just like, that would be interesting.
My question is now that you've finished it, do you want them to leave it or do you want a second season?
I want a second
And if they
season.
do a second season, okay, so because here's how I feel about it.
That's such a good question.
If right, I want them to either end it right here or give me the second season, but you have to give me each 3 years. Each season can be a year on Mars, right? And then just end it with them coming back. I don't want them to drag out this story, make it into something that we don't enjoy or that wasn't like the first season anymore.
Alternately, like maybe
So
what if
you don't want it to have The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I mean, like the season finale or series finale of The Walking Dead just happened, and how many of us watched it? None.
I used to be a
I've
big
never
Walking
seen an
Dead-
episode.
I used to be a big fan.
Didn't that series end like a decade ago or something like that?
No.
Yeah, I thought it ended like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Telltale Games closed their doors like last year, maybe a year before, and that was the last of the Walking Dead games.
Going back to Away though, I really wanted them to get there because, like, you know, Lou's message of hope, like every episode was just so emotional. It was so, I don't know, like I cried probably every episode because it was just heavy. It's not just like being in space, but all the, you know, problems at home and conflicting with you're in space hurtling towards where nobody else has ever gone before. I mean, oh my gosh. And Commander Green, I mean, her character was just so great. She was not handed that position. She earned her position there leading that squad. She was a fantastic commander.
And I think the challenges they brought with every episode are, they would be very likely scenarios. I don't think in reality we'd be able to use the fixes that they did, but the fact that they, you know, brought up challenges that our people would have to eventually deal with.
Oh, and I could see that, but at the same time, I would have liked one or two more, like, I don't know,
Deaths?
character building episodes. No, like they had a few episodes where nothing went wrong, but the whole like every time something goes wrong and it's worse and worse, like it can get a little repetitive after a while. And I did feel that towards the end. I was just like, come on,
Exasperated.
like just let them get there.
Yeah.
It's like when there's like, oh, 2 weeks left until Mars, and then they have another issue, and it's like, come on at this point.
I think that was well done, though.
I mean, I could have used an episode where they did like experiments in space, or you know, like little things.
I'm still pissed off at that engineer who created the water pump system, left NASA to go work at Silicon Valley. Like, that shit really happens in the industry, and I fucking hate that they had to include that in the show. But I loved it overall.
Keelan,
Without saying too much go
sorry.
ahead.
Keelan asked the question, like, would you want to see a second season? Like, I think I would want to see it, like, 20 years ahead. Like, how much it's grown, or if it's in decay. Like, what happened. I think that would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
See a giant garden on Mars.
But it's abandoned.
Oh.
And the angels are there.
Dun, dun, dun.
That wasn't on Mars.
And you see
I
astronauts
know.
going back with shotguns saying the Mars is haunted instead of moon's haunted.
Doom plays out.
What did you guys think of Lou's big fuck you to her
I
country?
loved it.
It was fucking great.
I loved it.
It's the exact
Right.
fuck you that China deserves.
I thought
Even
it was
in TV
phenomenal,
shows.
especially, you know, what they did to her and what they wanted her to do. And then just come back and
She probably had the most
Both
character
fingers.
growth throughout the whole storyline.
You think so? I thought it was Misha. honestly.
Maybe
Misha.
close second. Yeah.
I would have said Misha. I didn't feel like Rom progressed at all as a character. Like he really just stayed as a lovesick puppy
I know.
until he was kicked in the last episode, you know?
Yeah, I didn't really understand that.
Like there was no basis or grounds for it. Like, you know? Like maybe if they would have shown their training and they had some kind of like personal connection or something.
The bonding moments.
But like even at that point it was like they didn't really have that strong of a bond, it seemed like.
Well, to me, it was more of like him seeing her do these crazy, incredible feats and falling in love with that person. Like whenever she was collecting the ice, you know, like he looked at her like, oh my gosh, like this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. That was a crazy moment. I was telling Alan, I was like, I really think the whole show is actually like a love story between Matt and the commander. Like, I really love their connection and how he worked to like make sure that she was safe.
He's dedicated, that's for sure. Yeah, it's been interesting to see their backstory and the hurdles they faced, especially like once he learned he wouldn't be able to go, and that she not was a backup, but
Yeah, she definitely was not the first person to be the commander.
she was after her husband.
But her husband was, I don't think her husband ever made it as command. No, because
They wouldn't let him be commander because of his
CCM.
disease.
Yeah.
yeah, but then you had the guy Jack, the ground control guy. The guy that was on the moon that they met.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The crew did have that like connection with him from training with him. So you really get the vibe that he was the first one, but doesn't mean he was the best, you know. And she came along, was better at the job, and got the job over him.
And I like that so much better.
It's not a Rey Skywalker situation.
Oh god.
No, God, we're not reliving that. No.
Aren't they coming out with like a 4-hour extended edition?
Oh yeah,
No.
I forgot about this.
Banned. No, not gonna watch it.
So, there is a project in the works that's kind of been going around the rumor mill for Disney about releasing the J.J. Abrams cut of The Rise of Skywalker, and there have been small scene leaks about like scene description, what's going on in the scene. It even comes into question Rey's lineage. Originally, before Kathleen Kennedy's roach hands having bitch face ass decided, you can cut all that out. Before, I'm still mad at Kathleen Kennedy. I'm sorry, guys. Before Kathleen Kennedy decided to dip her hands into the Star Wars franchise,
Her roach hands.
the idea,
Her roach hands.
yeah,
Say what
her
you gotta
roach
say,
hands.
Alan.
Her roach hands, her roach having ass hands. Before she put her hands into the franchise, Rey was supposed to be a Kenobi.
I don't think that would have worked. I don't like that.
I kind of liked it.
Like,
I mean,
it's a cool idea, but how would it work? Because Kenobi only loved one woman, Satine, and Darth Maul kills her right in front of his eyes. So, like, how would...
He couldn't find love again on Tatooine in the...
But he was a man on a mission. That's why he went to Tatooine. He went into isolation. He went to, you know...
he went into
honor-
isolation to protect Luke
Yeah.
from Darth
Love
Vader.
can happen anywhere at any time in
See,
any
but then
situation.
you're just, like, romanticizing and injecting romance into the story instead of letting romance build and blossom.
It could have built and blossomed.
Nevertheless,
If you go watch his interactions with Princess Satine, you'll be like, okay, he'll never love another person.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He had a special connection to Princess Satine. Like, he loved her.
I don't think it was Rey was supposed to be a Kenobi. I think Rey was a Palpatine the whole time, but I think Kylo was supposed to turn back to the light side at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, seeing as he is a Skywalker, and Rey was supposed to help bring him to the light side.
Oh, absolutely. And that's kind of what happened in the movie. It just
They fucked us over.
yeah, they fucked
Yeah.
us over. It
He
was
died
it was
of
a total
broken
botch
heart.
job. Nevertheless, I am excited for when Disney releases the 4-hour extended edition of The Rise of Skywalker in 2023.
Okay, 2023. So far off that
2023.
it's not
I
even
know.
relevant anymore.
Is that going
Yeah.
to be your wedding present? Going to see that in theaters?
Nah.
Can your wedding
I'll buy a
be at
Blu-ray.
a premiere?
So
What?
they're not even going to release it in theaters. It's going to go straight to Disney Plus.
So okay, so you know that little theater right by the Galaxy, the small one next door to it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy that, restore it brand new, and we're gonna have your wedding there as we premiere the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker.
We'll hook up to Disney
Extended.
Plus.
Why does my
Well, we
wedding
already
to
have
be
a projector,
associated
so why
with
don't we
it?
just Yeah. We already
Why
own
not?
a projector. We can have a movie theater wherever we go.
Yeah,
We just need snacks.
you're gonna use the projector
See, you're all
to
set.
show off your montage of pics through the years.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. And then we can slowly sneak in Star Wars in there for 4
I have
hours,
so many
and
more
then you finish with
phones
the
to go
photos.
through now. Thanks. This one doesn't have any. This phone didn't have any pictures. It just has the Blockbuster app on it
Sell it.
and a lot of text messages. Text messages from a lot of people I no longer talk to.
Trash the whole phone. Don't even look at anything.
Yeah, dumpster fire it.
I
But
know.
save the photos.
I was like, the first name on the list. I was like, nope, fuck this.
Speaking of
Fuck this guy.
Speaking of dumpster fires, the whole have you guys heard about the Sea of Thieves situation?
Yep.
where Rare is.
I don't know. We talked about a little bit about this yesterday, and I don't know where I fall on the lines. So evidently, there is some groups of streamers who are bickering over Sea of Thieves and using their communities as weapons against each other.
Yep.
Which is something we don't condone.
We
but
spread love and positivity.
At the same time, yeah, but at the same time, it's like you're in a pirate game. It's a pirate world. Like, people are gonna be shitbags. You know what I mean?
So people are mad because there was two streamers, and Alan will tell us their names. They had a dispute, and it carried outside of the game, where one player was like, go attack this other guy's community and his character, and they were doxing him and shit. And then they're like, what's up, Rare? Like, you know, the owner of Sea of Thieves, like, why aren't you doing anything? This is happening on your servers. And then the question now is, like, should they even have anything to do with it? The player dispute.
I think that they should. So one of the streamers that has been receiving the harassment, his name is Rocco. He's been getting a lot of hate based off of his gender fluidness, as well as his appearance, and the couple's also been harassed as well, because it's a puppet that's controlled by like two people. That's how they control the channel, do the whole interaction, the game together. Well, they've been asking for Rare to step in and remove this other streamer from the creator crew, and instead Rare removes Say Hey Rocco from the streamer crew instead. So they're it's kind of like they're actively promoting the harassment.
Why did they remove
And
him?
just saying,
I don't
fuck
think
it.
they're actively promoting. I think they're just more or less taking a neutral stance on it, which, I mean, if you're a company, you don't want to speak for people, and I don't know. I don't think we should put on game developers like censorship on top of
What
it.
if they got rid of both of them? Like, I would feel better if they got rid of both of them.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the best path. Like, you know what? We'll just eliminate the problem totally.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
Every
turn
one of
both
these
of them.
situations that I've seen in this, like this, it's not always one-sided, right? Like, yeah, one of them might start it, but as soon as the other person tries to retaliate or sinks to that first person's level, you're both at fault. So I could see banning both if they're both partaking in, bad behavior.
Oh, he started ambushing me. I'm going to start ambushing him type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Oh, here we go. It was Pace22 and Say Hey Rocco. Say Hey Rocco is the puppet that is controlled by a couple on stream. The whole ordeal of it was harassment, ableism, and misogyny coming from Pace22.
So this is like
Yeah, but what is that? Like, I need to know what the Pace said. You can't, because a lot of digital outlets, they'll say, well, it's misogyny, and your term of misogyny might be is not technically the same as my term.
Yeah, I agree. Just like on our Discord, our definition of fairness does not equal anyone else's.
Yeah. Misogyny in my book is, I don't know. I don't really know how to put an example to it.
oh, you can't play
guess
games.
going
You're
out
a
of
dumb
your way.
girl. That's misogyny.
Not even that, but
Yeah.
like, if
Go back
you're
to the
going
kitchen and bring me a
above and
sandwich.
Beyond, if you're going above and beyond the situation, you know what I mean? Like, there's joking misogyny, but if you're taking it to an end where you look like an idiot for taking it that far, I guess that's more like what I'm concerned about. You know what I mean?
I get you. And, I mean, Say Hey Rocco is only asking for fairness from the situation, and Rare kicking him off of the creator crew and potentially, no, I wouldn't say ruining his streaming career, but limiting how much he can make from a community that he's given into is kind of like a stab in the back.
Wait, why would they limit his income?
If he's a Sea of Thieves creator, Rare pays out Sea of Thieves creators for how much content they put out. At least that's what I understood when I read over the creator crew thing. They also get special perks and access to pre-alpha and pre-beta versions of the game.
I guess also like
Yeah, but see, so right there. I mean, if they're in a competing market, and if one of them's doing better and one's doing worse, and you can get rid of the one that's doing worse in the market wise, and get rid of the problem, that would probably the path they went.
Yeah.
I mean, because what you're talking about sounds very like a niche, thing, a very little gimmicky thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think too, like, but like, what's moral? Like, is it nice? No, it's not nice. I mean, like, ideally, we would want a community where anybody could feel welcome or not feel as isolated. So I think that maybe it's just a case over like hurt feelings, and maybe it is being like a true asshole. But at the same token, like, this is a business. So I can see it both ways. Like, and it kind of makes it hurts a little bit to say like, well, like, they have a bottom line. Because this feels really shitty to say that.
And also, would we be saying these two people's names if this hadn't have happened?
No, not at all. Not a single bit. I didn't know who either of these two people were before the situation.
So all press is good press, right?
I guess.
Also, I may have been wrong about Rare paying people out. I'm rereading over it. They just get special perks and access to earlier versions of the game.
I mean, that's cool, but at the same time, what's stopping them from just putting Sea of Thieves down, going to a different game, and letting the situation, you know what I mean? Like, let the situation catch up to them.
That's what other streamers have been doing too. They've been protesting by not playing the game and pushing their communities to not play the game as well.
I think that's a lot better path than demanding that the creator start censoring people.
Mm-hmm.
I know, because like even after the last time we streamed Sea of Thieves, like I would think twice about streaming Sea of Thieves again because of the issues we had to encounter.
Yeah, we had some asshats in a ship using aimbots against us.
Dicks.
And didn't y'all get ambushed at the docks when everybody knows that's kind of a communal, hey, don't touch me here type thing?
Mm-hmm. And it's not even a communal thing. Like, certain people just don't fuck with anyone at the outposts. I know I don't. I know another streamer who doesn't, but I know other streamers who do. Who don't give a fuck, and they'll push "it's a pirate game" concept at everyone.
Yeah.
Which it is. I mean.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think digital censorship is probably the one topic that we're not hearing about this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I really thought that it would be a hot ticket item, moving into the elections and whatnot, because we have issues, like with Rare. Do we have Rare censor people and start, curating the game? Or do you have, like, Spotify start letting curate Joe Rogan's episodes? It's like, where are we going to draw the line and allow, adults to be adults?
Well, what about when the one Blizzard what's the Blizzard game? He was a big time streamer. He was also a big time player. No, not Hearthstone. The other one, Overwatch.
Overwatch.
The Overwatch player who said that he was all for Hong Kong keeping its democratic.
Blitzchung.
Yeah, Blitzchung.
He was a Hearthstone player.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hearthstone player. My bad. Wrong person. Thinking about the wrong person. The Hearthstone player who spoke out in support of Hong Kong, and then Blizzard was like, nah, fuck you. You're banned. Give us your winnings back.
Yeah, I didn't agree with what they did, and I wouldn't agree with Rare or any other, like EA doing that to anybody else.
So what's going on with Spotify and Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
So, same old, you know what I mean? Like, Spotify has always been a very authoritarian company, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they like to have control and curate what they put out. Well,
that's true.
And on the flip side, they signed Joe Rogan to a licensing deal. Like, they're not going to have issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
So their employees are now threatening to boycott and walk out if they do not get editing control over Joe Rogan's podcast before it goes on the air totally. And, like, you still have the unanswered question of, the Dirty Dozen, the 12 episodes that didn't get published on Spotify, that the rumor is that they're saving it for a best of YouTube stuff. Mm-hmm. But most of these episodes are top rated, like #1 Joe Rogan episodes ever, and they're not going to be on Spotify. It's like,
yeah, that's like a bad move there.
But, and also the list of people are also brings curiosities into it, right? It brings up too many questions. Like Alex Jones. Alex Jones has the highest ratings on a Joe Rogan's episode out of any other guest, right? Well, moving forward, Spotify wouldn't want him on their platform. He's a conspiracy theorist. Mm-hmm. So it's just certain things like that, which Joe promised that the show's not going to change, or I still have full control. But now Spotify employees are demanding control over it.
So here's my thing. I think it would go back to the contracts. What contracts were signed? Did Joe allow limitations to his topics, to his guests? Did they go back and forth saying, okay, I can talk about this, but I won't talk about that? You said Joe has full control.
Those were his exact words.
Okay. Then if he has full control and Spotify didn't put anything in his contract, then they need to honor that and let him broadcast what he wants, because they signed a deal. They signed a contract.
Yeah, so far, Spotify control, I don't know what you would call the leaders at Spotify, but they have stuck evidently to Joe's side, but they're still... Joe Rogan's audience, I think, because I listen to Joe Rogan, and I haven't listened to him since he moved over to Spotify, because I listened to him on YouTube. So I didn't like Spotify, so me making an account there is just, I don't know.
It's not worth it for you.
Yeah, I can catch the clips on YouTube, and I'll be happy. But at the same time, it's like, one of the things that I liked watching was that he was honest, blunt, he didn't sidestep, and you could trust what he was saying. Well, with him saying everything's going to stay the same, and then episodes not come up, now you have this issue. He made an apology for saying that Antifa was starting fires in Oregon. Well, you did have one person who claimed to be Antifa, and they were caught starting a wildfire. Mm-hmm. So, but he came in and made an apology for saying multiple people when it was only one. But it's like things like that we're not normally used to listening to Joe Rogan. Now that's all popping up, and I don't know. It feels like somebody's lying to us now.
Are you saying like it feels
probably Spotify
inauthentic? Like it doesn't feel like Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
That's not on brand.
I don't know. With this situation, I don't know who or what to trust.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, that's for sure.
And I'll tell you who you can trust. The Nake'd Podcast, with your best episodes coming to you Sundays. That's cheesy.
I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great.
It was not well received by our audience.
Damn. She's actively booing me.
You're gonna see like a little thing pop up that says "boo." Aww.
Boo this man.
You could be in our audience if you want to sign up to be a patron on our Patreon. Just go to www.officialmillennials.com. There's a little Patreon button on the top right. Click on that, and you'll be at where you need to go.
Yeah, do that. It's better than going to our description.
Yeah. And you can add Alan or at Keelan. What is y'all's new Twitter handles?
Peach_Z.
Puzzled Scarlet.
No underscore.
NJ.
This is NJ.
Woo.
And
was
like
yours, Ethan?
always, Crazy Evie.
Because you're crazy.
Hey guys, when's
Yeah.
gonna be our next community game night?
Ooh, I don't know. It might not be till November. We're kind of booked for the rest of the month.
What
Yeah,
about
with
October
us
23rd?
scheduling D&D.
Oh, that's the Friday night before your birthday, Alan. Ooh, what are we doing for your
I'm cool with
birthday?
So we'll have Eros. And I figure just come over. I'll cook out. I don't know yet.
I got a brisket I can defrost.
All right, bring it. I'll season it. We'll season it.
I would probably just bring it cooked.
You telling me you don't like my seasonings?
No, you're
No,
fine.
it's
just
less work for us.
to wait for it to cook.
That's fine.
Happy birthday, Alan.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's only like a 4-pounder, so it's, not too crazy.
Okay.
Then yeah, I guess the 23rd would work out really well.
All right, so you heard it here first. Our next official Millennials game night will be October 23rd.
Yeah,
Woo-woo.
and that should be about a week away from when this episode releases. So we'll see you then, everyone.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I gotta really hurry up and get D&D done now. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, you asked, and we wanted to play right
We
now.
finally get to play on the 16th.
Keelan
Thanks.
said we should play Friday, but I was like, I don't know if everyone would want to play Friday and then also play Saturday
This is
again.
what I'm saying. Like, let's play Friday, and then we can do. Wait, we weren't gonna play on Saturday, right? Because Marco couldn't come, or were we still gonna play without him?
I have a workaround for that, but I need to talk to him. But
Oh, I forget that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't have D&D anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I
Marco
mean,
canceled today. I
I
forget.
guess it would just be Marco missing.
Yeah.
We've done it
We
before.
have done it before.
yeah,
Well, I don't know.
and I have a
like,
plan for that. I just need to
y'all
talk to him
want-
about it first.
I want y'all to know, like, y'all need to work together on mine.
Okay. Hey, Teensy
Dope.
is a team player. She's all about it.
Well, that wraps up another great episode. Thanks for joining us. Find our memes and other great content on Twitter and Instagram at OG_the Naked Pod.
Run over to our website, officialmillennials.com, and you'll find our wonderful blog, some notes here and there from others, and a link to our Patreon, where for $1 you become a patron.
What do we get out of the $1 patron?
All of Alan's love and respect.
I'm okay with that.
And
As
a
long as-
handwritten note.
No handwritten note. My handwriting's shitty. While you're on the internet, definitely hop over to our Twitch and Mixer channels. On Twitch, we're Official Millennials. On Mixer, we're Official Mills. We will be trying to do some streaming this summer, so definitely check that out. Maybe we'll have a live show, and I will be doing streaming Mondays and Thursdays over at Mixer and Twitch. My handle is PeachZ90.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can find all of our episodes with a little extra fun mixed in. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, we love you.
This is an Official Millennials production.